I'll just kind of walk you all through just some more specifics and information about Kendra Scott, and then details about our internship program. And then if y'all have time, totally up to y'all, but I do have a sample of a leadership workshop that we go through with all of our interns. It just has some pretty cool information in it and good thought starters. So if y'all are into that, I'd be happy to walk you all through that as well. I'll start with just a little bit about myself. So this is me and my husband, who is also a center grad in front of the Theta House. So we met in that spot, we got engaged in that spot, and we went back for his 10-year reunion and brought our daughter. So that little square in front of the Theta House is a very near and dear place to my heart. And then the second picture is from when I studied for center term. I took a class in Hawaii my senior year. All of our best friends basically got to spend 3 weeks in Hawaii for center term, which was pretty special. And this is my best friend, Matthew Shuey. So anyone that ever is behind the SAE house, you may notice the pavilion back there that we built and dedicated in his honor, as we unfortunately lost him in 2011. So just wanted to kind of share a little bit about you all and some of my favorite center memories. I definitely owe a lot of who I am to my experience at center. And so with that, we'll go a little bit more into my life after center. So I moved to Austin in 2008. I graduated center 2006. And then went to EKU to get a master's in industrial organizational psychology. From there, Patrick and I decided to move to Austin. We kind of threw a dart at a board and thought Austin would be a great idea. I worked at a private equity firm here in town for a while, and then for a grocery chain, and then started working for Kendra Scott in 2015. So this is my 7-year anniversary coming up. Anyone that knows anything about our company and Kendra personally, if you follow our brand on any of our social channels, knows that she is just like the eternal optimist, very charismatic, entrepreneurial, philanthropic. And so to be able to work for someone and kind of absorb all that amazing energy has been just a true blessing over the last 7 years. And so I chose this quote from her because it really embodies what we believe in. And it's the choice to see good in every day and try to create it for someone else. If we can do those two things, we'll wake up to a brighter, better world tomorrow. So Kendra really is, she teaches us every day, like, yes, we're a fashion brand. Yes, we're providing beautiful jewelry that make people feel good. But we are also using our jewelry sales as an economic engine to do good in the world. And that really is our purpose. So our overall mission, I think, is so important and so beautifully written. So we're a fashion lifestyle brand of big dreams, colorful confidence, and inspired design. Founded on 3 pillars of family, fashion, and philanthropy, we believe our employees and our customers are the heart and soul of our brand, and that giving back is the truest form of success. And we are really here, and the business is created to do good in the world. So with that, I'd love to talk just a little bit more about our pillars. So I think a part of Kendra's genius is she knew what she stood for from day one. So this year is our 20-year anniversary. And she said, these are the things that are going to drive our culture and drive our business. And she has never wavered from those. I think a lot of times as companies grow, they'll kind of lose their way and be more focused on, profitability, rather than customer experience, employee experience, community experience. And Kendra is really steadfast in those things. So when we say family, we really mean it. And being on the HR team, I get to have the lucky seat of being at the forefront of so much that we do for our Kendra Scott family. And we really teach people that we want them to be able to have a successful career and a successful life at home. Like, you don't have to choose one or the other, especially as working women. We have so many demands for our time. And Kendra has told us, I never want you to miss a dance recital or a soccer game. Like, I always want you to be able to be there for our family and your family as well. And so that has been a part of what drives our decision making every day on our HR team, from the policies we put in place to the benefits that we offer to special perks and office events. We're looking at everything through that family lens and how we're providing that experience. And then fashion. Obviously, we're a fashion company, and fashion to us means what makes you feel your best. And so we want to be innovative. We want to be accessible. So having price points that are attainable to a variety of different customers, and product lines that go from, our costume jewelry all the way up to our fine jewelry. And now we've just added on engagement rings as well. So a very accessible price point for our entry-level customers. And we want to grow with them in all those important moments in their life. And then lastly is that philanthropic lens. So again, giving back is the truest form of success. We do that a lot of ways in HR. So we, everybody in the company has philanthropic days where we pay them to get out in their community. And then we are also bringing in and doing events in office, in our distribution center, and just making sure that people can see and feel the connection of how their work every single day connects back to a greater purpose. And that purpose is really helping women and children lead their brightest and most fulfilled lives, which is our philanthropic mission. So this is I love showing off our flagship store here in Austin. It's kind of like the Disneyland of shopping experiences, I think. Like, aesthetic and customer flow, customer design is really important to us. So this has what we call sips and sweets. So you can get frozen rosé all day long, coffee, treats, and then it's just an incredible experience. So we have used this footprint and kind of what we want the customer to feel and see, and expanded that across. We now have about 120 stores across the country, operating in 40 different states. All of them have a unique feel and vibe. So this one has like the Austin vibe. You'll see the mural on the side, like these are by local artists. And we like to replicate that feel in every single market that we go into. So really speaking to the customers in that community and knowing that not all communities are the same. And then this is just a little snapshot into our design studio and some work behind the designs. So we are a unique brand in that everything that you can purchase from Kendra Scott was designed right here in Austin, Texas, in our design studio, which really looks like a chemistry lab, honestly, if y'all are taking chemistry right now. So we've got not only the machines where they're doing like the wax molding and things like that. We're also melting metals. We're doing CAD 3D design. So it really is a pretty cool and unique space, and very unique to our brand. So much that you buy if you go online and purchase is it's a lot of licensing. So you'll see companies represent themselves as if it's their product, but really they've just licensed someone else to produce that product. Whereas at Kendra Scott, we have an in-house design team that is doing everything that you can buy. And then lastly, just my most important part is our philanthropic giving. So I had the amazing opportunity. You'll see the little family down at the bottom with the Mickey ears on. We are very invested in a nonprofit called Inheritance of Hope. And that nonprofit provides Disneyland retreats with counseling and Disney experiences to families that are undergoing a terminal diagnosis. And so I was able to go last March. I had the most amazing family, 5 kiddos plus their 2 parents, and we just gave them the best experience possible at Disney World. So that's one of our big charities. We also do a lot of work in the breast cancer space. Kendra lost a dear friend to metastatic breast cancer. So doing breast cancer research as well as gifting to local oncology clinics and things like that. And then our last nonprofit that we are heavily invested in is the Women's Entrepreneurial Leadership Institute that is here at the University of Texas. And so that is an entire program as well as a major where young women and men can go and get a major in entrepreneurism, and that is all from an endowment from our company and Kendra personally. So very invested in education and helping women pave the way to be founders and leaders of their own companies. These are just a little more snapshots of our 2021 impact. So providing scholarships. So we worked with a nonprofit of fallen heroes called Folds of Honor, and provided 20 scholarships for spouses and children to attend higher education. 30,000 pieces of jewelry. It's honestly probably more than that. We have a never say no policy. So if someone wants to come and have a product to do in like a silent auction for a nonprofit or something like that, we always say yes. We also give back to families. So we're unique in the fact that not only do we give to nonprofits, but if we are in a community that's had a hardship, we can come into that community. We can offer what we call Kendra Give Back events, where people can come and shop, and we'll give 20% to the nonprofit, or to the family that's undergoing that hardship. So just all kinds of things, again, to like for people to get invested in and really feel like their work is meaningful. Hi, Grace, welcome. And last but not least, just being an experiential brand. So again, like really wanting to show up for all of life's moments, from, graduation. We did a lot of work with gifting during COVID, just gifting our first responders, gifting nurses. We really look for like, where is the need, and try to go in and feel that need. And so people are connected to the brand, not just because of the product, but because of the social engagement that we provide. So with all of that, that's a little bit about us. And now I'll tell you a little bit about our internship program. So we really are looking to bring to life all of this into a really robust program, and are looking for people that are creative, that are entrepreneurial minded, that really want to come in and have an immersive experience. The last 2 seasons have had to be remote, but luckily this internship program this summer is going to be in person. We do have a paid internship opportunity, and we have people from all over the country kind of come live in Austin for the summer and get really hands-on project-based experience. So just a little bit more detail. So I mentioned it's paid, or we provide the rate. So that's $15 per hour. It starts in May, kind of end of May. And we have a variety of different teams that you can sign up and have an internship with. We are also looking at providing a fall session, or maybe even a year-round session. And if any of y'all were interested in that, we can also offer virtual opportunities. So definitely email me afterward, and we can talk about just what your area of interest is, and see if there's an opportunity either this summer or in an upcoming session. And so just kind of overall details of the things that we offer. So we have obviously a fun orientation. We do everything kind of top notch at Kendra Scott. So lots of fun swag and like events. We offer departmental rotation. So not only will you work in the department that you were selected in, but we also want you to get a really good feel of all of the different teams. We do leadership days, so leadership sessions. And like I said, if we have time, I can walk you through what one of those might look like. We have you all go out into the community and do a philanthropic activity. And we also do lunch and learns with our executives. And so that you can kind of learn about their career path, meet them, network with them, and just kind of pick their brains on how they started out their careers. So that's kind of it from a high level. I'm happy to answer questions that y'all have. And then if y'all have time, I'd be happy to walk you through an example of one of our leadership trainings as well, which is more interactive. I realize I've been talking at y'all straight for like 15 minutes. Any questions, thoughts? Do you all mind sharing kind of what, if y'all are interested in an internship, what area of a company you might want to go into?
So I'm an econ major, but
yeah,
I was like looking more into like possibly like a fall or like spring type opportunity, because I'm taking classes this summer, so like that's already like planned out and everything. But I guess something kind of like related to like finance or like econ.
Yeah. So on our finance team, we kind of have a couple different divisions. So there's we have a tax team, we have a financial planning and analytics team, which might be really interesting for an economics major. We also have a team that is like our controller team. So you're more typical like accounting. And then lastly, we have like an accounts payable team. So making sure that like bill paying and remitting and all of that is seamless. There's like a bunch of different areas. Our finance team probably has about 25 to 30 people, all divided in their different segments. How about you, Ellen? Go ahead.
I'd say, do you know maybe like when like fall or spring details might come together, or if you know like you're gonna have that offered?
Yeah, I mean, so the good thing about still being a medium-sized company is I can kind of make anything happen. So if you were interested, just send me your resume and I could connect you with the right people and we could see if we can make something work. Yeah. How about you, Elka?
I'm interested in the marketing aspect of it.
Marketing. Okay. So our marketing team is one of our largest teams. So fashion company, you are only as good as your marketing of your product. And so that team is divided into a lot of different areas. So we have an in-house photography and retouching team. We have a copywriting team. We have a team that does brand marketing. So I mentioned that billboard in Times Square, like they're doing our big activations, a social media team, a marketing operations team. I'm sure I'm leaving someone out. Graphic designers, strategist, kind of a broad area. Do you have like a specific part of marketing that you're interested in?
I'm interested in strategy, but also writing part.
The copywriting?
Yes.
Okay, great. And when are you looking for an internship?
Probably sometime in the spring as well.
In the spring as well. Okay, great. I'd be happy to connect you.
Thank you.
And then Eleanor, how about you?
Yeah, so I did have a question about if y'all have like if it's only in person in the summer or if it's virtual as well in the summer.
So our current slate for this summer is all in person, but
Okay.
again, I can make things happen. And so if you had a specific area, I could definitely connect you and see if we could offer a virtual opportunity.
Okay,
The
so
great
is it
thing,
is it based off of like out of one place or is it like the nearest one to you?
so all of our internships are for our home office.
Okay.
So we would have, I know we have a store in Lexington, Louisville. We don't have any store level internships.
Okay.
Everything kind of feeds into the Austin office. So you would be a lot of the things that I mentioned. Because of COVID, we've gotten very good at doing hybrid meetings where we can include people that aren't in office. So it wouldn't be obviously the exact same experience, but we could provide a pretty analogous experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I'm an ant soc major, so it's not like exactly aligned with this.
Yeah.
But I'm looking to go into like tourism. So maybe something with like customer service or HR even, something along those lines.
Yeah, all of our customer care is currently remote. So that's a remote team. And we do have like an analyst portion of that. Like there's all different types of, not just like the people that are picking up the phone and answering customer questions, but kind of the back end kind of studies of that and customer behavior. That's another team on marketing. It's like our customer insights and analytics sits on the marketing team. And we don't have an HR intern yet. So if you were interested in HR, I could definitely talk to you more about that for sure.
Perfect.
All right. Do y'all have any other questions? If not, I can kind of flip over and I'll just give you a little sample of one of our trainings. So we just just partnered with David Novak. So David Novak, you all probably know Yum Brands. They're in Louisville, Kentucky. So David Novak was the CEO of Yum Brands for a long time. And he recently wrote a book. He's kind of one of these just like leadership gurus. He gets people, he knows how to bring the best out of people. And so he brought that to a book, and he wrote a book called Take Charge of You, and it's all about self-coaching. And I'd be happy to provide each of y'all one of those if you want to just send me again, you're going to have to send me an email so I can get everything organized, but it's just beth.lee, L-E-Y at kendrascott.com. And I'd be happy to send you all one of David Novak's books. But the book is Take Charge of You. It's about self-coaching and really kind of asking yourself important questions so that you understand yourself and can help propel your own self in your career. Obviously knowing that external mentors are important along the way, but it really starts with you and kind of what you want. And so when we think about leadership in particular, there's all these different studies about what makes, a great leader. And you can see some of the words here that when you ask, what's the key to leadership, how people have answered. But as we research these traits, there's one thing that pops up consistently as to the predictor of what a great characteristic that a great leader has. Do y'all have any thoughts of what that might be? Any guess is a good guess. I did not get it right my first time either. Any guesses? So I've heard things like empathy, which is obviously important, like active listening skills. Okay. So the answer is self-awareness. So your best leaders are the people that are the most self-aware. So I love this little dog diagram. So, he's painting his self-portrait, and he thinks he's this amazing German Shepherd. And actually, he's this little squishy ishy down there. So clearly not the highest amount of self-awareness. And so when you think about why, so great leaders are better at identifying their own weaknesses. So I love, you all have probably heard of Clifton Strength Finders. A lot of people take Strength Finders, and Strength Finders is amazing. Understanding what you're strongest at is obviously very important because you want to pour into that. But also good leaders know where they are not the strongest. And that is how they build teams around themselves to really amplify the entireness of the whole by knowing what they're not great at, and then going and finding people that get a lot of passion and energy out of those things. So like for me in particular, operations is not one of my strong suits. I'm kind of like a fly by the seat of my pants. I don't document a lot of policies and processes, but actually that team is one of my teams at KS, which most people are like, that's crazy. You own the operations function. But I can do that because I have amazing operators that get a lot of energy out of, documenting how we do things and making sure that everything is consistent all the time. And so knowing your weaknesses is a good trait of a leader. Understanding what it's going to take you to be able to improve at something. So if it's going to take you a 90% effort, but you're only going to get a 10% impact, knowing that that's probably not the best use of your time, and like when to phone a friend and try to build people around you that are better at that. Knowing when to leverage other team members. So great leaders are self-aware and know that they're not the smartest person in the room, and that you should really be asking for others' opinions, others' input, and really practicing that active listening. And then lastly, this is one that I think we're all, working on every day, is just realizing that no one is perfect and giving yourself grace. So it's really hard to be a great leader if you're constantly beating yourself up all the time. Like you've got to be the one that is moving forward every single day, even if it's a small step. And so that's another trait of the self-awareness can help you understand that and give yourself a little bit of grace. And then you don't feel like you have to be the smartest person in the room. So asking others for opinions and getting input. And then, so I love this. So this is a quote from Marvin Ellison. He's CEO of Lowe's. He was CEO of JCPenney's for a while. So just a really, really seasoned leader. And he said, I remember something my dad had said to my siblings and I, seems like 100 times. He would say, we may not have the nicest car. You may not live in the nicest house. You may not wear the nicest clothes every day, but always remember, no one can beat you at being you. No one can beat you at being you. So whenever you feel as though you're not achieving the thing that you believe that you deserve, just focus on being the best version of yourself. And I think, I wish somebody had told me that a little bit earlier in my career. So I wanted to include it in this training, but just really optimizing and understanding what it is that you want and going after that. And that is something that Kendra has done remarkably well. And obviously it's paid off for so many people that she's been able to touch through her career. So getting to know yourself. So this is a great exercise. We obviously don't have to do it together, but this would be something we would do together in the internship program, is just really asking yourself, like, what am I good at? And what can I improve on? And then what makes me happy? I think so many people know how to answer, what can I improve on? Because that's where our heads go first, unfortunately. But what are you good at? And what makes you the happiest? And happy can sometimes be a loaded word. And so I pulled on Marie Kondo here. So think happiness can also be like, what brings you joy? What brings you peace? What brings you gratitude, comfort, satisfaction, all those things. And so as David walks us through his book, he takes us through some exercises of trying to figure out what is that for you? What is it that sparks my joy? What brings me happiness? How can I be more in touch with myself so that I can be an even greater leader to others? And so the blockers, you can ask yourself questions like, what gets in my way of peace, gratitude, comfort, and kind of do a little exercise where you sit and think about that. And so some thought starters for that are, thinking about your worst day. Why was it so frustrating? Trying to divide your blockers into different categories. So home, personal, or relationship, and really being specific. So I live in Austin, Texas, so I use the commute because traffic here is terrible. But rather than saying my morning commute is a blocker, what is it about that commute? So the fact that it takes away time from my family starting my day. So as you think about different blockers, kind of thinking about it that way. And then what are some of your builders? So what would help you grow your peace, gratitude, comfort, and satisfaction? And also kind of working through that and thinking about that. And then narrowing your focus. So David calls this the single biggest thing. So what is it? What's your single biggest thing that you want to focus on in career, in life? What's going to bring you the most fulfillment? And then go after that kind of unabashedly. And that's a very quick, trying to keep us to time here, but just a very, very quick snippet of a type of training that we would go through. And just really wanted to give that example because this isn't just about, coming in and learning like accounting or marketing or customer care or human resources. It's also about giving you all the tools to really think critically about, as you go out into the world and start your careers, what's going to bring you the most passion, because that's where you're going to be most successful. And so we try to do things like that for our interns. That was a lot of talking. What else? What other questions do you all have for me, or can I help with anything else?
You might have covered this before I joined, but could you just what were the days of the summer internship?
Yes, so it starts May 25th and runs through mid-August.
Okay.
Yes, but we definitely can be flexible on dates. I'm trying to remember, y'all start back school early September, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Usually the first few days. I was asking because I'm going abroad for June and I'm taking econ classes, so that's why I was.
Got it. Where are you studying abroad?
I'm going to Austria.
Yeah, that's lovely. Amazing. Good for you. Any other questions? Can I help y'all in any other way?
I was wondering how many hours a week, like if I were to do a virtual, how many hours a week would that really entail?
Yeah, typically we strive for about 30. knowing that a full 40 is a lot. And so we try to have it be about a 30-hour work week. Yep. All right. Well, thank you all for spending your afternoon. I hope you all enjoy, and good luck with finals. I know you're getting it's getting crunch time. So I wish y'all the best. And if y'all go out on that little pavilion behind the SAE house, think of me, think of Shui. And I hope you all have a great summer, and definitely send me your email. I'd be happy to send you all a book. I'd be happy to help connect you with other members of my team and anything I can do.
Thank you. I'll definitely be
Thank you.
reaching out.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thank you,
Bye.
Beth. I appreciate it so much.
Yeah, for sure. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.